Do you want me to close the windows?
Then it'll be really cold. Oishe shalom bimrema, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom. Shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yalkol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. How did Shlomo's tune go for it? Okay. Yibane beis hamikdash b'meila v'yameinu v'seichel b'seirosecha. Yibane beis hamikdash v'yameinu v'seichel b'seirosecha. Shibane beis hamikdash v'yameinu v'seichel b'seirosecha. Shibane beis hamikdash v'yameinu v'seichel b'seirosecha. Shibane beis hamikdash v'yameinu v'seichel b'seirosecha. Beis hamikdash v'yameinu v'seichel b'seirosecha. Page 189. And you don't need to be ashamed to put the shawl on. I know, I'm just telling you. Somebody knocked, I think. Either that or Danita's playing games with us.
What page are we on?
188. 189. Let's see if you're just tricking us. All right. So you did that, huh? That's what you did. Yeah, okay. It's the neat.
What?
Yeah, now somebody else is doing it. Great. We'll never get started learning. Okay, Brit im Hashem, the covenant with God. I want you to know, says Reb Shlomo, why is it that I could know something and not fulfill it? It's because I'm not really connected with that. If you know something and you act accordingly, it's because you're really connected with it. Right? You could be a great theologian like Bilam and still be a wicked person. Right? You're not connected with it. If I know one word of Torah, and this one word of Torah connects me with the supernal point, or to my worldly point, then I have no problem fulfilling it. There's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avot that says that we owe tremendous respect to those who teach us Torah. And the Mishnah goes on and says that even if somebody taught you only one letter of Torah, you have to give them tremendous respect. So what's so great that somebody taught me an aleph or a bet? What's so special about one letter of Torah? So Baal Shem Tov explains that if it's taught properly, you could know the whole Torah from just one letter. If you start properly in such a way that you're connected through it, the entire Torah is contained in every letter of the Torah. The Lubavitcher Rebbe gave an example like the entire ocean is in every drop of water. Your entire body is in every cell of your body. All the DNA of everything in your body is in every single cell of your body. Right? In other words, the integration is enormous. So the unity in everything is there all the time. You just don't see the externality of everything. But if you would learn one word of Torah in a way that you're really connected, you would have no, whether it's connecting you to the supernal point or whether it's connecting you to your worldly point, you would have no problem keeping it. It would be done with joy and with ease. Maybe not with ease, but it would be done with joy. Right? The whole concept of that, right, there's Chachma, Bina, and Da'at, right? Chabad, the three upper sfirot, the three higher sfirot. Familiar, Danit? Yeah. And the whole, so Chachma is the kernel of wisdom before it's expanded. Okay, it's like, for example, I give you a chip, a disc on key. Okay, it has an enormous amount of Chachma in there, but you need to have the apparatus with which you can open it and unfold it. So like the disc is like Chachma, and the Bina is like the software with which it gets opened and it gets expanded. What's Da'at? Da'at is that when you understand the knowledge, you act according to it. You act accordingly. Bless you. In other words, you can know that it says in the Torah, don't embarrass anybody, or don't speak any Lashon Hara, right? But you can have it in your intellect. That is, now that you learn this, you're not going to speak Lashon Hara. That
is your action based on your knowledge.
Is your connection with your knowledge. It's being connected with your knowledge.
It's like your awareness of what you know and your knowledge.
It's you've integrated the knowledge and you act accordingly. It says, "V'ha'adam yada et Chava." Adam knew Eve, and she conceived and bore a child. Right? That is the connection. Adam and Chava connected, and consequently she conceived and bore a child. You understand? That is, you connect with the knowledge, and that gives birth to a change in your behavior. Okay? That's the idea of that. So he's saying that if you would learn a word of Torah, even only one word, and with that word you're really connected, then through that will come the change in your behavior. You will live it. You will live with it.
And that's how you connect. One can connect the Nukudah, the Mala to Mita, because one can know one can have the Chachma for the Mala and the Mata, and uses the Bina to
Expand, yeah.
Yes, but the Das is the actual connection.
It's the actual connection, yeah. Yeah, I saw a book that some chassid, some Lubavitcher chassid put out explaining the midos. So for the chapter on das, his title was "The Doctor Who Smokes Has No Das." He said he knows, but he's not connected to the information. Right? So, Mahi Britim Hashem. What is the meaning of a covenant with God? Brit im Hashem, the covenant with God, Perusha, it means Shahalamala v'halamata sheli mechubarim v'Hashem. To be in the covenant with Hashem means that my above and my below are connected with God. Right? In other words, he gives an example. Chaverim, if I meet a poor person, I give him something. But that doesn't mean that I'm going out into the street and I'm looking for poor people to give them money. I don't have that much money. So if I go out into the street and I don't see a poor person, I'm happy. Right? So how could you walk in the streets of Yerushalayim and not see a poor person? Because I'm not connected with the mitzvah of tzedakah. I'm doing the mitzvah, but I'm not connected with it.
What would it mean?
Hold on. Yeah. So I told you that I was once walking with Reb Shlomo on Broadway, and after the first block, he had no money left in his pocket. After the second block, I had no money left in my pocket. Because whatever money I had, he says, hand it over. We need to give it away. In other words, for him, it wasn't just that when somebody asked him for money, he was looking to give people, to help people. Okay. Another example, and it very much relates to the parsha of this week, which is not an easy parsha, especially in Boulder. But anyway, don't worry. Okay? Pinchas. Pinchas is the zealot, right? And he goes out and he kills two people in an act of kana'ot, of zealousness. We were learning about this yesterday, right? And Hashem has to come and make it clear to everyone that Pinchas did not act out of cruelty, but rather he was acting out of love. You were learning the parsha this week, yeah? You're familiar with the story, right? So now, Rav Steinsaltz gives the following example, but it's the same example that Reb Shlomo is using, very similar. A guy goes to shul, and everyone's davening, so he davens also, right? So he's got a certain level of connection. That's like the guy walks in the street, and the poor man comes over and says, "Can you give me something?" So he gives. But then there are, do you mind? Then there are, don't have to laugh, just shout it, yeah, good. Then there are people that are so connected with Hashem that they wake up in the middle of the night and they say, "Oh, I miss God." Okay?
Like they're sleeping with God.
Just saying, like right away, they're saying, I miss God. Here I was sleeping, and okay. Then there's a level of being connected with Hashem that you want. Hello, is that Judy? Then there's a level where Then there's a level where you're so connected with Hashem, you want everybody to know. You want everybody to know that, hey, you're not alone. There's a God who loves you. And even if you have to go to the end of the world, like I told you the story the other day about the Rebbe sending somebody in Australia down to another city, right? You have to go to the end of the world to let people know that, you're not alone, right? It hurts you if there's one person who feels that they're left out. And you'll go and you'll do everything you can to reach out to that person. That level of love in Hebrew is called kin'ah. That's being jealously in love. Not jealous of, but being jealously in love. The relationship means so much that you want it to be complete. Anything that's going to take away from its completeness is not tolerable.
Is that achievable just with like Hashem and man, or is it something that I don't know? I never thought of.
It's so I was telling a couple of stories last night. What there's a lot of tzaddikim, and we need many more, but there are tzaddikim in the world, right? What drove the Lubavitcher Rebbe to raise his students and his disciples to be ready to go across the world, even as far as Boulder, to open a Chabad house? Rabbi, what's his name? Wilhelm. Okay? Or never mind Boulder, Denver. Never mind Denver, the former Soviet Union. Never, places that there might only be a couple of Jews. Huh? Russia. There might only be a couple of Jews in that town at the moment. And then there might be some others who are still hiding. Okay? Why did he do this? What was driving him to do this? Because his connection with Hashem was so strong that he wanted everybody to know, you're connected also. You're also connected. You're also connected. You're not alone. Okay? And that's what Reb Shlomo is saying, is that when the connection is real, you don't say, it's too far to go to do you a favor. You're running to do a favor, no matter how far you need to go. Oh, it's not worth it. There's only one guy there. You're running to go. You're running to go even for one person.
There's a story of the Baal Shem Tov where one day in the morning he gets up and he says to his chassids, "We're going to that town." He goes to a poor man's house and the poor man invites them in, and the Baal Shem Tov Mamash takes everything from him.
He eats all the food.
He eats all the food, takes everything. So did the Baal Shem Tov do something bad by going there and really sucking dry the poor guy? No, he did that in order to bring his prayers closer to Hashem.
The Chassidim asked him, Rebbe, what did you do? The guy hardly had any food, and we ate everything that he had. And what happened was, and they left. Judy's there, I think. Maybe she's not. She's going to check.
She's there.
Oh, she's there. And then the Rosh Hashanah says, okay, let's go back now. And they go back and they see the guy's dancing. He found the treasure, right? And so they say, what happened? He says, when you guys left and I realized I had nothing left, I had nothing for my children, I had nothing for my family, I finally went out and I said to God, Hashem, I was welcoming guests into my house and they cleaned me out. I need your help. I need to feed my kids. And then all of a sudden, this treasure came down. Baal Shem Tov said, this man's problem was that he was satisfied with the little bit that he had, and he never prayed so he never prayed. I had to come there, eat up all his food, so that he should start praying.
So lots of people said that story was a bad thing. Like, the fact that the Baal Shem Tov came and took everything from him, they're like, how did he do that? How could Pinchas take a life of someone else?
Yeah.
That's the comparison. And he did it in order to awaken a Yetzer of Tefillah, not Pinchas. Baal Shem Tov did it in order to awaken an awareness of Tefillah, a connection to Hashem.
Yeah.
And so did Pinchas. He
But
did
you
that
have
out
to
of
be
the love.
right. So Pinchas also acted out of love for the relationship between Hashem and the people of
That's right.
Israel.
So
Page
one
189.
So one should daven for what one has. How about Sameach also?
You should be.
I should daven for something that I already have.
No, you should.
To be grateful.
You should be grateful for what you got. You should be happy with what you have and pray for what you need.
I guess that's where Shmoneh comes in, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's one question. I kind of didn't even ask the question. But I said, is that achievable, this like zealousy,
Right.
like between man and Hashem? What about between man and man?
So you're asking a good question. Or what I'm basically trying to express is that if somebody is zealous just between man and God and not between man and man, it's not the real zealousness, according to the Torah.
Mm.
You know, if you're so zealous about Shabbos, for example, that you go out and you scream at people who aren't keeping Shabbos.
Sorry.
It's like
The new trade line right here.
but you don't give a damn that there's thousands of kids who don't know Aleph Beis. That's not real zealousness. That's phony stuff.
Or I love the one where someone's davening, oh, it's Kovana, and they turn around and say, shut up to the person who's talking behind them. I love that one. Because I mean, they're not even davening.
It's true. I used to do that.
I always get a laugh out of Shul. Oh, Shul is the best comedy club ever.
Okay, Chaverim, I'm sorry, we're down to the second last paragraph. Eich Hashem bachan et Abraham lirot im hu kashur. How did Hashem test Abraham to see if he's really connected? Hashem bachan im hu ratz lechapes aniyim. Right after Abraham entered the covenant, after he did the bris, his first test was that Hashem came to visit him, and while Hashem was visiting him, while he was having this high moment of what's the word I'm looking for? Of communication, communion with God. Right then, he sees these three strangers on the horizon, right? But even before that, it says the parsha begins, right? God appeared to Avraham Avinu, and he yoshev petach ha'ohel, he was sitting at the entrance of the tent, kechom hayom, in the heat of the day. Right? I don't know if there's anywhere else in the Torah that we get a weather report. Okay, I think this might be the. You get it. Yeah, but I'm saying other than that, right? But that's also a weather report. It's true, but anywhere else where Hashem speaks to anybody, it doesn't tell us what the weather was like, right? Here, Hashem comes to Avraham Avinu, and he's sitting there in the heat of the day. Where's he sitting? Not in the shade. He's sitting outside at the entrance. Why is he sitting outside at the entrance? Because he's looking for guests. Okay? So the test is...
Somebody tell God, hang in there, I'll be right up there.
Abraham Avinu did that, yeah. He was the first one to do that.
The founder.
No, but it doesn't say anywhere else that God's speaking to somebody and...
No, it's enough once. Yeah. Right? So Abraham Amar Hashem, so Hashem says, I'm sorry, Hashem Bachanim Hu Rash Lechapes Aniyim. Hashem was testing to see, are you running to find poor people, or do you just wait until they come and beg? Abraham Amar Hashem, Ani lo yachol lechyot beli latet la'aniyim. Abraham Avinu is saying to God, I can't live without giving something to the poor. Abraham kol kach kashur, he's so connected, Gewalt is kashur, he's so awesomely connected. There was a Rebbe, the son's a Rebbe. I'm sure there were others also, but I know this story about the son's a Rebbe. He could not sleep at night if there was money in the house. And the story is that one night he wakes up his kids and he says, I can't sleep. And now he would only sleep 2-3 hours a night anyway. He says, I can't sleep. They say, what's wrong, Abba? And he says, it must be that there's money in the house. So he said, they say to him, Tati, you give everything away all the time. There's no money in the house. Right? To him, going to sleep with money in the house was like not having trust in God that tomorrow God is going to give me what I need. Okay? So he says, no, I'm telling you, I can't sleep. There must be money in the house. So they got up and they did a b'dikat chametz. They searched through the whole house and they found a few kopecks. And he says, you see, there's money in the house. Now go find somebody to give it to. And he sent them out in the middle of the night to go find some poor people to give it away. And then he was able to sleep. Right? So he was on that madrega, he couldn't go to sleep if he still had something to give to tzedakah and didn't give it away. Okay, so what do you do with such stories? So by the way, once this very same Rebbe told his Hasidim, he said like this: if you believe every Hasidic story, then you're a fool. If you don't believe them, then you're wicked. Understand? The story might not necessarily. I mean, this story is true, but we know because it was about him. But there are stories that you don't have to believe that it actually happened, but you have to believe that it really could be. It could be that way. So, וכאן אני רוצה שתדעו את עומק העומקים. So now I want you to know the deepest depths. השם נתן לאברהם שני מבחנים. He gave Abraham 2 tests. האם אתה מחפש עניים? Are you looking for poor people? אם אני לא מחובר למצוות הצדקה למעלה, if I'm not connected to the mitzvah of tzedakah on the supernal level, כן, כתבתי ספר על מצוות צדקה. Yeah, I know all about tzedakah. I wrote a book about it. אבל האם אני מחפש עניים באמת, but am I really looking for poor people? Am I really looking to help them? Right? So, Avraham Avinu, page 190. היה חולה ומלא ייסורים. He was sick and he was full of pain. He had just been circumcised 3 days before. ואמר למשרתיו, and he told his servants, and he could have had his servants take care of the guests. He says to his servants, איני מסוגל לחיות בלי לתת לעניים. I can't live a day without doing something for the poor. זהו הקשר שלו עם השם למטה. That's his connection with God here in this world. מדוע אברהם התפלל בעבור סדום? The story after this one in the Torah is where God informs Avraham Avinu that he's going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. So what does Avraham Avinu do? He prays for them. Why did he pray for them? He knows that it's a wicked, cruel, rotten society, right? Avram sensed Shulai, or he was concerned that maybe Sidom lemata v'kruvim me'ashorish, maybe Sidom is rotten to the core here below in this world. אבל אם אפשר לקשר את הלמטה שלהם עם הלמעלה שלהם, but if we can connect their lower reality with their supernal reality, יהיה אפשר לתקן אותם, then it'll be possible to fix them. So he says to Hashem, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped a line. Let's go back to the fourth line. מדוע אברהם מתפלל בעבור סדום? כי גם לסדום היה קשר עם למעלה. Because Sdom also had a connection above. הרי משיח בא מסדום. You know that Mashiach got smuggled into the world in Sdom.
Mashiach?
One of Lot's daughters.
One of Lot's daughters.
Was Mashiach?
No, but she was the ancestor of Ruth. And Ruth is the ancestor of David HaMelech, who is the ancestor of the line of Mashiach. Okay, so Avraham Avinu knew that they must have a connection with their supernal point also, and he believed that if I can connect their mundane reality with their supernal reality, then we can fix them. So he says, maybe there are 50 tzaddikim in the city. So he's saying to God, Gewalt, Ribono shel Olam, ten li 50 tzaddikim, give me 50 righteous people. Im rak uchal lekasher lehem et halamala im halamata, if I can, together with these 50 righteous people, if I can connect them with their above and their below and connect them, ataken otam tekev miyad, I'll fix the whole city immediately. Why do I speak Lashon Hara about another person? Because I learned in the Torah that you're not allowed to do something. And then when I see a person doing that, I speak badly about him. Why is it like that? Because I'm connected only to the Torah below. If I would be connected with the Torah above, I wouldn't be able to say anything bad about anybody. Understand? I mentioned it, I think this week, right? According to the tree of knowledge, we were learning it this week. According to the tree of knowledge, why shouldn't I speak Lashon Hara? You go out on a date, the guy is a jerk. Your friend gets a call the next day from the same person, wants to go out with her. She asks you, hey, you went out with this guy, what's he like? Right? What are you going to say to your friend? Okay, I'm not asking from the halachic perspective, but which, by the way, in this situation, there are ways that you could tell that you can share the information. But you're in somebody's house and you see that the husband and wife are not speaking with respect to each other, and you come and you want to tell somebody. You're telling the truth. Why shouldn't you tell them? It's true. Why shouldn't you tell them? So we were learning. According to the tree of knowledge, there's nothing wrong with it. According to the tree of life, yeah, maybe they were like that yesterday, but who says they're like that today? And you also have to always remember, the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov. If we see somebody doing something that's wrong, it means two things. It means that on some level, regardless of how many shades of sophistication or subtlety removed, we've got the same problem ourselves. And secondly, Hashem is saying, You see this? I let you see this because you have to have a part in making it better. Otherwise, you would say Hashem is speaking Lashon Hara. Why did Hashem orchestrate it such that I should turn the corner right at that moment when I see you picking somebody's pocket? Right? Huh? Because in some level, I'm also not being so honest. And because I need to do something to fix that. Right? So if you see something negative in somebody else, it's not for you or for me to go and tell everybody, hey, look at what this guy's doing.
It's for you to be better.
It's for me to be better and for me to help that person being better. Now, how to go about help that person being better? Well, you got to act wisely. Okay? You're not going to go over to a 6'6" guy that just did some shoplifting and tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, you're not allowed to do that. You might end up with his fist in your mouth, But so how are you going to go and help that person? That's a whole other wisdom.
But it's not the way I saw it at first. Is like when you see someone doing something bad, so it's that you have that tikkun to do within yourself as well, but not necessarily through that person.
No, I understand. So sometimes the only way that you can help is by doing the tikkun yourself. In general, like it says in this forum that if you are going to rebuke somebody, you're only allowed to rebuke them when you're taking the rebuke for yourself personally as well. And when you realize that you too have that problem, and like I said, regardless of how many shades of sophistication or subtlety removed, but you still have that problem, okay? Then you're taking the musr, the rebuke for yourself as well. Then your rebuke for the other person is going to be heard as well. Okay. Everybody's tired because it's Thursday, right? Because we need energy to get ready for Shabbos. Nobody's tired. Whoever's not tired can stay and wash the floor.
The body is tired, but the
neshama is wide and alive. Yeah. Okay. האם התורה אומרת, we're in the middle of the page, האם התורה אומרת שאברהם הסתובב ואמר לכולם שסתום מלוכלכת? Does the Torah tell us that Avraham Avinu was going around and telling everybody how disgusting stom is? שלושה מלאכים באו אליו לאכול על שולחנו. 3 angels came to eat at his table. על מה הם דיברו? What were they talking about? הוא היה צריך לומר להם, he should have told them, שמעתם על סדום? Did you hear about סדום? הם האנשים המגעילים ביותר בעולם, the most disgusting people in the world, גוואלד, הם מגעילים, they're so disgusting. אברהם היה חייב לומר למלאכים, Shlomo is being facetious. אברהם היה חייב לומר למלאכים, he should have said to the angels, כך, כמה אנשים אמרו לי, a number of people have told me, מצווה לומר מי הם האפיקורסים האלו, חייבים לפרסם. Number of people have told me that it's a mitzvah to let everybody know who these non-believers are. It's a mitzvah to make it public. תארו לעצמכם, imagine. אם אברהם היה אומר למלאכים, if Abraham would have said to the angels, חברים, my friends, דעו לכם, יש אנשים בעולם הזה שצריכים לאבד. There are people in this world that don't deserve to live, they deserve to be wiped out. המלאכים היו בורחים מיד, the angels would have run out of his house. אני רוצה לומר לכם את עומק העומקים, I want to tell you the deepest thing. Hazor Kadosh Omer, the Zohar says, Shemalach Shafach et Sdom Bal Avraham, the angel that came to destroy Sodom, he was one of the three that came to Avram's house. Madua, why did he come? The other two angels, one of them came to heal Abraham, and the other one came to bring the blessing to Sarah that she's going to have a child. So we know why they came, why they had to be there at Abraham Avinu's house. But the one that came to destroy Sodom, what's he doing there? He just came for a free meal? So Nachon, page 191, Nachon, Katuv Shu Haya Oto Malach Sheripe et Abraham. It's true that it says this is the same angel that healed Abraham. והוא גם הלך לסתום, אבל מה הקשר? I also want to stom, so what's the connection? הזוהר הקדוש אומר, כשהשם אמר למלאך להפוך את סתום, that when God said to the angel to destroy Sodom, to turn it over, הרי דבר אכזרי, this is a very cruel thing. לכן ריבונו של עולם, שאברהם יצחק, ריבונו של עולם רצה שאברהם ימתיק את הדינים. The reason that Hashem sent the Malach Gabriel to Avraham Avinu to inform him that Sodom was going to be destroyed is because Hashem wanted Avraham Avinu to sweeten the judgments. In other words, he's letting him know about the impending retribution. Why? Because he should sweeten the judgments, meaning that he should do whatever he can to make it better.
To make it an easier way
to make it more chesed, right?
Chesed eating, like putting a drop of water in the bath bomb.
במילים אחרות, in other words, כשהמלאך הולך להפוך את סדום, הוא הולך ללמוד רחמנות מאברהם. He's coming to learn how to have compassion from Avraham Avinu. תארו לעצמכם, אם אברהם היה אומר, הסדומים האלו מגעילים, imagine if he would have said that these people of Sodom are disgusting, המלאך היה בורח מיד, the malach would have run away right away, וגם לא היה מרפא את אברהם, and he wouldn't have healed Avraham Avinu. And Yitzchak wouldn't have been born. Okay? So, I think we're going to stop over here today. Okay? A few minutes early. You forgive me?
Yes, sir.
I'll make it up next week, later. Just, I reached my, sometimes at this time of day, I didn't sleep that much the last few nights. So I'm a night person. What can I do? That's when I work best. So I stay up till 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Wow.
Besides, a little bit of sleep apnea, that doesn't help either.
Too much money in the house.
Too much money in the house, right?
Everybody can make them sleep.
Very good.
Yeah, and there's others that also don't sleep. Jordana, Shalom Aleichem, how are you?
Okay.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Baruch Hashem.